Welcome back to Kat's Kitchen. My name is Kat, and today I'm going to show you how to make shrimp fajitas at home. If you know anything about me, you know I like to make meals that are simple, flavorful, full of veggies, and full of protein, and this meal is exactly that. There's a decent amount of ingredients here on the table. However, the steps are very simple and some of the steps are optional depending on how much effort or work you want to put into dinner. So let's start with the ingredients you will need. We're doing shrimp fajitas, so I have a bag of shrimp. This is 1 pound of frozen raw shrimp. If you don't like shrimp, you can do chicken, you can do steak, you can do whatever protein you prefer. I have some shrimp. I buy it frozen just because it's convenient to keep in the freezer, and then it's a quick protein to cook. So we have a bag of shrimp. I'm gonna cook it in some avocado oil. And then as far as veggies go, we have a yellow onion and 2 bell peppers. I have orange and red. You can do green, yellow, red, whatever color you like. To make life easier, I have a fajita seasonings packet. This is the Kinder's Mexican seasoning, the fajita blend with citrus and garlic. You can use individual seasonings. You can use lime juice, whatever you want. This is easy. Rip it open, dump it over the top of the shrimp and the veggies, done. And then I have some tortillas. These are the carb balance ones by Mission. I like these. My husband doesn't complain about them. They're also high in fiber and protein. 1 tortilla is an extra 6 grams of protein. So you have 2, 3, 18 grams in just the tortilla. I love that. And then fiber is high too. 1 tortilla is 17 grams of fiber. Crazy high. Feel free to use whatever tortillas you like. If you don't want to make it a fajita, you could also even do quinoa for some high protein, high fiber. And then moving on to homemade guacamole. You don't have to make your own. You can buy it store-bought. I had all the ingredients in the fridge, so I'm going to show you how I make mine. I have 4 very ripe avocados. I have 1 Roma tomato, some red onion, a lime, and a lemon. I like combining both in my guacamole, but you can choose one or the other. Then some garlic powder, and I also do salt and cilantro in the guacamole. We're gonna put that on top of the fajitas. And then the last component of the meal is a cilantro lime salsa. My husband loves this salsa. I love it too. You need cilantro, salt, 1 jalapeño, juice of 1 lime, 1 big garlic clove, a cup of plain Greek yogurt, and a tablespoon of olive oil. We're gonna blend that all up in the blender, easy peasy, make a salsa, and pour that over the fajitas with the guacamole. I'm salivating already, it sounds so delish. So let's get into the recipe. First thing I'm gonna do is add some hot water to this bag of shrimp. I want this to defrost because it is currently frozen. If you buy shrimp that's thawed already, completely skip this step, but I am going to thaw the shrimp while we move on to the next step of the recipe. Hot water, let it sit in the sink. Next step that I wanna do is I wanna get the bell pepper and the onion cooking. So we're gonna chop those all up. Bell peps coming in. If you're not familiar with bell peppers, there are seeds and a core inside. So what I like to do is just kind of cut around that core and around those seeds as much as possible without, wasting the bell pepper. You can see like this one has some seeds in it. I just tip it over, spank it, and get all the seeds out. Easy peasy. I don't like eating bell pepper seeds at all ever. Nothing is worse to me than crunching down on one of those. And then I always give the butt to the dog. Booty. Same thing with the orange one. Cut on the side to open it up and expose the seeds so I can kind of cut around the seeds as much as possible. Cut off the butt. Give it to the doggy. And then since we're doing fajitas, we want these to be cut into thin, thin, thin strips. So I just take each flat piece and cut super duper flat, thin strips, tucking in those fingers so you don't cut one off on accident. And again, you can use whatever color bell pepper you like. If you don't love bell peppers, why are you making fajitas? No, just kidding. You can totally skip the bell peppers, just use onion. Cutting these all thinly, trying to get them as even as possible. All right, bell peps, thinly sliced. And then I like yellow onion for fajitas. I don't like too much onion. I'm gonna do half of this, baby. Peel off the skin. And then I just cut this into really thin strips to kind of match the same size and shape of the bell pepper. Feel free to use more onion here. And then I have my pan here heating up. I'm gonna add some avocado oil to the pan. Good drizzle. And then I'm gonna add in the bell pepper and onion right into the pan. And let them soften, cook up, get a little color on them. That's what we want to see. All right, and while those are cooking, we are going to chop up our guacamole ingredients. First thing I do is cut open each avocado. I just cut it in half, rotate the avocado around to open it up. 2, 3, and 4. And I just scoop the avocados right into the bowl. Pits and all. Pits and all. Scoop it and scoop. You can throw out the pits if you want to throw out the pits. I like to keep them in. I've heard that they help maintain freshness. I don't know if that really works. Really, it's the lemon juice that helps the most. Avocados are in. Should look like this. We'll go in with the Roma tomato. I just cut off the ends and then roughly chop the tomato. You can add another one. I just have one in the fridge that's about to go bad, so I want to use it up. Tomato goes into the bowl. Next is onion. I do not that much onion. I personally don't love onion, so I avoid it like the plague. But there are just some recipes that taste better with onion, like guacamole. And then I just cut these into really thin strips, just like we did with the fajitas. Super duper thin strips. And then I just rotate those again, just like the tomato, and cut lengthwise. Veggies are a cooking. That's what we want to see. I don't move them around too much. I want them to get a nice charred color on them. I'm just dicing up the onion pretty fine. I don't like too big of a chunk. But I do like red onion in my guacamole. Red onion goes in. All right, bell peppers are starting to smell a little bit. That's a good sign. You can see when I flip them over, we have some with some color. It's exactly what we want to see. I have a lemon here. I'm going to squeeze the juice of a full lemon and a full lime. This one's a little hard, so to release some of the juice, roll it until it's a little bit softer. Perfect. Squeeze lemon and lime juice right in. I like it real limey and lemony, so feel free to use less if you don't like this much citrus in your guac. You could also use jalapeno in here. Cut up a jalapeno. I'm not going to add one just because we're already doing the cilantro lime salsa, and that has jalapeno in it. I do not know where my lime squeezer is, so today I'm the lime squeezer. Cool. Really wish I knew where that thing was, because I got a nice hangnail and this is burning like a butthole. Citrus is in, and I am going to add a little bit of cilantro as well. Not too much because I want to use most of that cilantro for the salsa. So just a little bit to give it a little flavor. Probably a little more than this. Rough chop, add it in. Perfect. That's perfect. That's a plenty. So again, this recipe is not very hard. I'm basically chopping things up, putting it in a bowl, having things cook while I'm doing something else. When it comes to cooking, I love to multitask, so there's not like a lot of just waiting around time. I don't love just waiting around while I'm in the kitchen. I like to be busy doing something. We're multitasking as we're going along. The last two things I add to the guacamole: salt, generous amount, and garlic powder. And mix this together and also mash the avocados while you're at it. And there's guacamole. I know people make guacamole different ways. That's awesome. This is just how I make it. This is how my husband likes it. And ta-da, little taste. Fabulous. Oh my gosh, that's so good. So lemony. All right, checking on the vegetables here. I'm getting even more of that beautiful fajita color. That's exactly what we want to see happening with the bell peppers and the onion. Beautiful. I like a soft bell pepper, soft onion situation. So that's what we're gonna do here. Once they're soft, I'll add that fajita seasoning. And while the veggies are still cooking, we're gonna make the cilantro lime salsa. I love, 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 love this. In a blender or food processor goes 1 jalapeno, 1 clove of garlic, about a cup or so of cilantro. I just put in a whole bunch. Generous pinch of salt. And then I do 1 cup of Greek yogurt. This not only adds extra protein to the meal, but a nice, delicious creaminess. If you don't have Greek yogurt, you don't like Greek yogurt, you could also do sour cream if you wanted. I like these convenient 1 cup little cups, but I mean, use a bigger one and then just measure out a cup. That works too. Then the juice of 1 lime. Really wish I had my squeezer. This sucks. And last going in is 1 tablespoon of olive oil. If you want a thinner consistency, add more olive oil. And I'm just gonna blend this until it's all smooth and salsa-like. All right, salsa is all done. I just blended it up for maybe a minute or so. Look at that beautiful texture and color. Oh my goodness gracious. Looks fabulous. Let's do a little taste test. Oh, she's spicy, spicy. Oh, baby. Oh yeah, that one's hot. If you want the sauce to be less spicy, then cut open the jalapeno and remove the seeds. This is delish. Moving on with the recipe. The bell peppers are nice and soft with a beautiful color. So I'm gonna add half of this packet of fajita seasoning right on top of the bell peppers. Coat that a little bit just to give it some flavor. They look delicious. Look absolutely incredible. Oh my gosh. And then the last step is to cook the shrimp, but these have the tail on them and I don't like that. So I am going to take the tail off. But the shrimp is nice and thawed now. That's exactly what we want. And then what I do is I remove the bell peppers from the pan, add them to a bowl, just so I can cook the shrimp. Make sure it's evenly cooked. Add the shrimp to the pan, and we just want to cook all of these until they are pink. See how they're translucent, like gray colored? We want them to be nice and beautiful shrimp pink. All right, once the shrimp are all pink and no longer translucent in color, I'm just gonna add in the rest of that fajita seasoning packet. Season those babies up. Give it one more quick mix. Gosh, I'm salivating. Yum, 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 yum. All right, and then add the shrimp to that bowl with your fajita peppers. And I try to scrape as much of the seasoning off, just because I am gonna use this pan to warm up my tortilla. If you wanna use a clean pan, use a clean pan. I just use the first tortilla to kind of clean up the pan, and then just warm it. All right, and now we have all of our components prepped. I have tortilla that's warmed. You can obviously do more than one. I have my shrimp and bell pepper fajita mixture, my guacamole, and my cilantro lime salsa. So let's put together a fajita. Again, if you don't like your tortilla to look like this, it doesn't have to, just use a clean pan. I'm just gonna add some shrimp and bell pep, add a big dollop of guacamole, and then a good drizzle of that cilantro lime salsa. Oh my gosh, I'm salivating. You could also do a sprinkle of cheese if you want, or some sour cream. Taste test. Oh my goodness gracious. So much flavor in this. So many delicious textures. Wow. Wow, phenomenal. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and I hope it gave you some inspiration for a meal you can make yourself this week. Shrimp fajitas Honestly, very easy. Came together in under 40 minutes. You can make a big old batch of this and have it for multiple days throughout the week. You can completely skip the homemade guacamole and just buy it from the store to make one less component of the dish, make your life a little bit easier. But I do recommend the cilantro lime salsa. It is delicious on shrimp fajitas, steak fajitas, chicken fajitas. Comment below if you try this recipe and let me know what you think. And I will see you in the next video. Mwah! Got a blast.